For those of us on the See the Change staff, and with Kathleen and Maria Fakis, we'll stand up a minute. These two, along with Anatoly and myself, are the day job folks that work through this foundation, supported by the board and the advisory board members. So thank you both very much for great work. We wouldn't have a luncheon here today, nor would we have had a board meeting without them this morning. I clearly get that. On August 1st of last year, we memorialized this date. Anatoly, with Anatoly's idea, he'd already worked this with Ed Osborne to put it into Carmel. Anatoly and I thought it'd be a great idea to form a foundation to take this nationally. And we thought of no better person to go to than Jim Johnson. Jim runs an engineering firm, operates in at least 4 states that I'm aware of, makes a substantial contribution to the communities he's in, and we bought Jim the most expensive lunch he'll ever enjoy. And 1 hour later, 6 figures poor, he became the vice chair of our foundation, and that's a decision that was a marriage made in heaven for us. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to the vice chair of See the Change, Jim Johnson.
Thanks, Abe. And it was a box lunch, so it was. If they come see you and bring lunch, please take the meeting, but it will be expensive. I noticed on the agenda it said Jim's Journey. Probably don't have time for that, albeit it's fascinating. I kind of came at this from a couple different angles. One is personal experience, obviously, and then the other truly is the industry in which I serve. And we have a shortage of engineers. My company's success and my whole industry's success is built around the engineers. It's something that nobody is addressing on a national level. I'm involved at a university level on advising College of Engineering. And we have seen our enrollment just stagnate. And everybody wants to produce more engineers. Our dropout rate is about 35%. On the exits, when you ask them, why did you get out of engineering? It was too hard. And it's always 2 classes come up, calculus and physics. And they are hard, and by the way. But it's also, so I throw in my personal experience, and I am a huge public school proponent, and I am a product of a public school. My personal opinion is high school is kind of designed to get you out. You're going to get through, and man, I define that. I didn't take anything I didn't have to. I knew it took exactly what to get out. Went to college, wanted to be an engineer. I knew what I wanted to do. So my first real exposure to physics was in a lecture hall with 300 other of my closest friends. I believe I've never actually gone back and looked. I know I failed once, and maybe even failed twice. I kept swinging at it before I got it. But that was such a good foundation for my ongoing calculus classes as well as the engineering. And I became a believer in the physics program as being fundamental. The school I'm associated with is trying to grow our engineers, and we're going to the various high schools trying to find these candidates who want to be engineers. And what they've done in a lot of places is made them like gifted and talented programs. So there's very few students, and they're very highly sought after. It's not very broad based. And that's the end of the pipeline. So I saw this, as Anatoly and Dave articulated, it's a proven program, it works, it's a proven system. It's not about talking and research and tell me the data, let's debate that. This was a program and a curriculum that was ready to go into middle schools right then. And I thought it was the right place, and it was the answer in which all these various other organizations are looking at. So we are proud, and still are, to be one of the initial investors, because I believe it's an investment not only of our future, of my industry, but I see the potential of this really changing the educational landscape very broadly. I think you'll hear some of the other stories which are better than mine, obviously, but it is an exciting program. And I really didn't have any second doubts about it, but I've got to tell you, when I went to Carmel, that hook just got really cinched back in my mouth. To see these kids, how excited they are, understanding it, learning it, the engagement, seeing also the math scores and English scores starting to come up as well. Yeah, I hate to turn Carmel into a tourist attraction, but what they are doing down there truly is infectious, and if you ever get the chance, please do go down there and see the kids. They're having a blast. And they got a little bit of swagger with them, because they're in physics. That's kind of cool, right? And so it's a lot of fun. I think the potential, we're just starting to identify and see the potential. So thank you, Dave.